for some reason, so much Spider-Man 4 rumors have been dropping. So I kind of want to tell you guys one by one, and then we just go down the list. All right. So first off, guys, let's talk about the rumored plot for Spider-Man. So it says this: Tom Holland's Peter Parker persona will reportedly start fading away in the MCU. In his mind, Peter Parker is no more, but Spider-Man lives on. Since he has either lost or detached himself from everyone he has ever loved, all he has to keep him going is being Spider-Man, whether the city loves him for it or not. As the title of Spider-Man continues to consume Peter's life, little by little, Peter Parker will take a back seat and continue to fade away from existence slowly. So, and just to give you guys a heads up, for anyone that is watching right now, we are just talking about the plot, and then after this, we will be talking about the people who are in talks to direct it. So, how do you guys, excuse me, how do you guys feel about that plot kind of being the groundwork for the rumored groundwork for Spider-Man 4?
I think there's a lot that I like about it, but I still have a concern. I like that Peter is going to be not happy. And I know a lot of fans hate hearing that, but like, if you don't understand that Peter doesn't get to be Spider-Man and then be happy as Peter Parker, you don't understand Spider-Man. It's all about the sacrifice. It's all about not being able to balance the two. That is like the core of Spider-Man, number one. Number two, I'd love to see a darker take on Spider-Man in the MCU. Not to go Spider-Man 3, but I would love to see like a black suit Spider-Man in the MCU. I think that would be fire. The other thing though with my concern is I still think you need some Peter Parker to drive home a powerful Spider-Man movie. And I think that's what like the Raimi movies did so well. The world building around Peter Parker. There were all these characters in Peter Parker's life. There was Aunt May, there was MJ, there was J. Jonah Jameson, Betty Brant, and his landlord and the landlord's daughter. So I think that there needs to be some of that. Whether things are going good or bad in his life is another thing. But I do think they need some aspect of Peter Parker's life.
See, the way I kind of read that is that it seems like they're going to be phasing out Peter Parker for Miles Morales. That's how I read it. Not so much that they're going to be phasing. Yes, they're going to be phasing out the idea of Peter Parker in the minds of in the idea of Peter Parker for the other characters, but all the other characters we already know that no one knows about Peter Parker anymore. I mean, they just don't. They don't know who Peter Parker is. Everybody only knows Spider-Man. That's it. Nobody knows who Peter Parker is in the MCU at this point in time. So to me, it sounds like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the way I read it was wrong, but that's the way I kind of took it, was that they're going to be phasing out Peter Parker, because there's already been rumors that they're going to be moving in that direction of possibly passing the mantle on to Miles Morales in live action. With the success that we've seen with Into the Spider-Verse, and with the success of what we've seen in the video game, the Spider-Man video games, with Miles Morales taking the mantle there, even I think that's what they're going to be. That's what their plan is. I think that's what they want to do, is they want to move in that direction for live action as well. So I could see them very much that being their plan, and maybe that's the idea, is if we kind of remove the focus from Peter Parker, even in the show, in the movies, as we build up Miles Morales in some form or fashion, it would just be an easier transition to move into that. That's kind of how I looked at it. But again, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, so it's funny you guys say that, like both of those things, because I am thinking of Spider-Man being similar to the Batman, where like Robert Pattinson's Batman was kind of lost in the cape. He was just so caught up in doing Batman things that he kind of like forgot who he was. which he's also Bruce Wayne too. But so I actually do love that idea because I mean it would make sense that he would start going down this path, obviously. So to me, that idea doesn't rub me the wrong way. The question, but we do need some things to happen though if you go down this road. Number one, because regardless of what happens, you need characters to be able to showcase Peter Parker still, even if he's in the suit 80% of the film. You need Harry Osborn, you need Norman Osborn, you need someone. And we're going to talk about this after we talk about the directors, but Zendaya is coming back as well as like MJ. Are they going to retcon and rewrite her to be just the definitive Mary Jane of the MCU, or are we bringing in Gwen Stacy? Like, what is like? I think that I think the main concern for me is like what new characters are going to be in this, because I don't think there's a place for Ned at all in this new MCU.
But do you really
Spider-Man
think
film.
that we're going to have another 3 movies with Tom Holland? I don't think we are. I think at most we might have 2 more movies with Tom Holland. I truly believe that the idea is to transition away from Peter Parker completely. And I get this idea that we want to see we want to see all these characters. We want to see Harry Osborn. We want to see the Osborns. We want to see more of J. Jonah Jameson. We want to see Gwen Stacy. We want to see all these characters that we know from the Spider-Man lore connected to Peter Parker. But I don't see them sticking with Tom Holland long term as an actor in the MCU. I think I just basing off of all the decisions that we've seen Marvel make over the last 4 or 5 years now, it makes me believe that they would rather move in a direction that would give them a cheaper actor, a younger actor, a more diverse actor that would give them more to build off of. Let's not forget that, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, while people do like him, he is a divisive casting, not casting, but there's definitely a lot of divisiveness around that version of Spider-Man, because there's a lot of people who love Andrew Garfield who hate Tom Holland. There's a lot of people who love the Tobey Maguire and still hate Tom Holland. So I think that they may want to try and find another way to move in that direction, move into another direction. Again, I could have read it completely wrong. You guys might be onto something else, but
I do think they are 100% going to bring in Miles, and I think it's going to be on the sooner side also. And I think that my big theory about it is that they're going to cross over the Miles Morales of the Spider-Verse movies into the MCU. My theory is that they have done such a good job commercially and financially with Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse movies that why would they do a completely new character when, number one, they get to pull him from a different universe, so they don't have to explain how Miles Morales came to be in this universe, but they don't want to have to sell a new character. They're going to sell the same character. And I'm not saying Shamik Moore is going to be playing the character or anything like that. They're going to get a totally new actor that's, talented and not just being a voice actor. And I think that's going to happen. But I don't think they are going to pull away from Peter Parker so soon. And that is because, first of all, I'm pretty sure Tom Holland signed on to do at least 2 or 3 more movies. Granted, that could be 1 more Spider-Man movie and 2 more Avengers movies. We really don't know. The other thing, though, is he's went back and forth on it, which reminds me of how Daniel Craig was when he said, I would rather slit my wrists than play James Bond again. And then, obviously, he played James Bond again. And it's always been my theory that he said that to get a bigger paycheck, which he got. But I don't think that they're going to do away with Peter Parker. I think they've wanted to make Peter Parker the center of the MCU for a very, very long time. But I also think they want to bring in Miles because Miles is obviously a huge, huge success, and the MCU wants a taste of that in their universe. And they need big, strong characters right now. they could use a character like Miles Morales in the MCU right now. You know, and I also think that Secret Wars is the perfect opportunity to bring him about, considering that's what they did in the comics.
Yeah. So first off, Marvel would be idiotic to drop Tom Holland. He's one of the most famous stars in Hollywood. Okay, Spider-Man, even though they put out Far From Home, which was utter trash, still made a billion. You know, Homecoming did 800 mil. Even the third one did Bazonker's amount of money. Tom Holland is a really big actor. I mean, the live action Spider-Man has been more profitable than the Miles Morales Spider-Man will ever be. I don't think that Miles Morales Spider-Man will ever be more famous than Peter Parker ever. And I do disagree with the fact that it is going to be really hard to sell Miles by himself. You need Peter Parker to sell Miles Morales. And to be honest, I think that Miles Morales will make Tom Holland stay even more as Spider-Man, having them two kind of lead together. I just, Tom Holland is young, and I believe that the reason why Feige brought in Tom Holland so young is because they want us to age with the character. Like, I feel like we are meant to see Tom Holland grow old and have kids, and I think that is the story that we are going to get with Spider-Man.